Welcome to In This Season podcast, where we unpack the most empowering conversations, have exclusive and inspirational interviews, and host special events. Join Tammy, some call her Butterfly, and explore life's purpose by learning how to embrace each season of your life with confidence, strength, and purpose. Whether you're blooming in the spring, or shining in the summer, or embracing change in the fall, or gracefully hibernating in the winter, get ready to be inspired. Join us right here on this season of In This Season podcast with your host, The Butterfly. It's time, no matter what season it is.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, B.
Good
How is
morning.
this Saturday morning going for you?
It's going great so far. Ain't been up too long, but feel great. I got up, washed up, prayed, got my coffee, ready to be as open as I can and read these passages. How about you, sweetie? How are you?
I'm here. I'm doing
Ready to
good.
learn something.
Really doing good. I have not read this one, so I'm excited for a new. I don't know, just a new one, new day. All those things above. Just ready. Feel very rested. Mentally, physically ready.
Good.
The ducks.
Did you do that part today?
Yeah, I did earlier, but I'm gonna do a spring us in. I wanted to share something, Brandon. You remember, so I just pulled out one of my little things here. You see this? And I was thinking about yesterday when I did see that it was attached. This came from Trevor Smith at Lillington Elementary School.
Oh, wow. Really?
Yes, you know how long
Wow.
a student, you guys. Trevor Smith was a student at a school I worked at in Lillington, North Carolina. He gave me this one year for Christmas.
What was that? 28 years ago? Something like that?
Man, you were in what grade? I don't know. Probably,
Third, fourth?
yeah, something like that.
Yep, third or fourth.
And I
Wow.
thought about the youth that I just thought about, I started wondering where is he and what is he doing? Um, he just was a fabulous kid, a Duke fanatic. Duke, he probably went to Duke as a college because he was fanatic. And it just made me think about yesterday as we talked about our youth. I pray that God keeps me grounded and faithful to our youth. I do. I hope that I'm always inspiring them, So this was a blessing just to kind of pull this little jacket out and see it. I was truly blessed by it. So
That is awesome. That's
share
cool.
that.
Blast from the past.
Yeah.
For everyone, welcome y'all to the In This Season podcast, and good morning to you on this fine Saturday. I hope y'all had a good restful sleep, a successful week, and as Mom usually says, feed those ducks a little bit as y'all come in. Let's see if we got anybody in the comments yet. Anybody there just yet? Oh, we got Miss Brenda Davis who says, "Good everything, everyone. Happy Saturday." And then we have Auntie Richetta, who said, "Good morning, Butterfly and nephew," with a heart emoji. So thank you for joining us and welcome to the show. On this show, we are reading through Daily Motivations for African American Success. It's this book right here by Dennis Kimbro. Hope you can see it. Mine's a little tethered. Mom's got the new one right over there. If you order it, go ahead and order it online. You can get it from Amazon or different places where books are sold. Your book will look like my mom's over there. But hopefully you read it, come here every single morning. We give you a couple insights, join the conversation, like and share, and send it to people who you know and love that could use some daily motivation, some daily affirmations and encouragement. So thank y'all for being here. Anything you want to say, Mom, before we go into it?
I want to jump right onto it. I hope y'all fed the ducks this morning, and good morning, good morning. Good
Good morning.
Saturday, yay, right? How do you do that? Saturday, yay?
Saturday.
Saturday.
Yeah.
Saturday.
Put a little
Saturday.
Miss Brenda on it.
Yeah, put a spin
There
on
we
it.
go.
Put a spin on it.
Well, for our
All right.
newcomers, y'all, for those who don't know about this book and what we do, this book, Daily Motivations for African American Success, will help you focus on the thoughts, attitudes, and deeds that will lead to the achievement of your true goals. And 365 short, powerful motivations, one for each day of the year. Dennis Kimbro, the author of Think and Grow Rich, A Black Choice, leads us to discover how to use the present moment and our own gifts to transcend labels, cultivate a positive attitude, become wise enough to know when to say yes and when to say no, and to look inward for answers to life's challenges. Each motivation begins with words of wisdom from such distinguished and celebrated African Americans as Malcolm X, Marion Wright Elderman, Whoopi Goldberg, Charlene Hunter Galt, Bill Cosby, Carl Rowan, Mother Hale, Reverend Leon Sullivan, and hundreds of others. This treasure trove of practical inspiration will give you fresh encouragement every day of the year. What it teaches will last you a lifetime. And Mom, if you want to read that top portion, I know you love that.
If there is any power that can reverse the fortunes of race, it is character, writes Dennis Kimbro. Every thought which enters our mind, let me say this, every thought which enters your mind, every word you utter, every deed you perform makes its impression on the innermost fiber of your being. Have y'all ever noticed that? So your, Y-O-R, take away the Y is R. I just always find things like that interesting. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Y-O-U-R, take away the Y-O-U-R. Things like that are just always interesting. And I bring that out because we say that, what's the word, Brandon? You are my other me
Mm-hmm. And like catch.
in La Catch. So I just feel like what you do to you, you're doing to me. What you do to me, you're doing to you. And when we start to look at us um, as a unity, oneness, the word tells us where two or more gathered, right? And I think gathered on one accord, in one accord, same, not just the same book, but on the same page, the same sentence in that book. We are, as Big Mike, I don't know if he's checked in, that we're better together.
Mm-hmm.
And the day we realize that we are better together, right? So over to you, Brandon.
Well, thank you, Mom. I appreciate it. And so yeah, let's jump right into it on this November 2nd. November 2nd, our title is What Do You Bring to the Table? Again, what do you bring to the table? And Ruth B. Love, what a name, an educator, Ruth B. Love, said, the roots of happiness grow best in the soil of service. The roots of happiness grow best in the soil of service. All right. What do you bring to the table? Do you add value to the lives of others? Do you bring peace, understanding, or knowledge? Perhaps you think you can continue to take while providing nothing in return. Perhaps you think that you can continue to take while providing nothing in return. After all, doesn't everybody do it?
Mhm.
It doesn't hurt. You're wrong. It does hurt. The following story proves my point. An African chief invited the men of the tribe to a great feast. All the food will be provided, he announced, but each of you must bring a jug of wine. Ali wanted to attend the feast but had no wine to give. His wife suggested, you could buy a jug of wine. It's not too expensive. How foolish, Ali cried, to spend money where there's a way to go free. Rather than wine, I'll carry water in my jug. No one will notice. It won't hurt to add one jug of water to the great pot of wine. On the day of the feast, his guests gathered in the chief's home. As each man entered the tribal grounds, he poured his jug of wine into a large earthen pot. Ali carefully added the contents of his container, greeted the chief, and joined the others. When all the guests had arrived, the chief commanded the servants to fill everyone's glass. As the chief blessed the feast, his guests raised their glasses and drank. Suddenly, a cry of disbelief arose from the crowd. What they tasted was not wine, but water. Each guest had decided that his jug of water would not spoil the pot of wine. It is certain when we take out more than we give, when we sneak by without giving our best, it hurts us all. And our affirmation and motivation that we carry today from this lesson and from this passage is today and every day. My motto is giving more than is expected is always expected. Giving
Mm.
more than is expected is always expected. Over to you, Mom. What do you think about this? What do you bring to the table?
Wow. Hmm. Interesting. I like this last sentence that you read, and I'll go back up to the top. I'll start at the top with our topic for today. But I like when it says, um, let's see, it is certain when we take out more than we give, when we sneak, y'all know I love that word. Grandma,
I
you
saw,
trying
you know, I read it that way. I was like, yeah, she
yeah,
gonna say
Grandma, you
something
trying
about
to
this.
sneak me from my granddaughter, she says. It is certain when we take out more than we give, when we sneak by without giving our best, it hurts us all. Kind of like what I started out with today. Um, but Brandon, it brings me back to what you said previously. If you got 80% today, give 80%. Like, what would it have hurt? How much better would it have been if the people who did not have it just said, listen, I really would like to come, but I just don't have it. However, I don't see this as being the issue. I don't see money as being the issue why they didn't have it. I see it as just
Miserliness.
fun. I want to go, but I don't want to take none. I don't want to,
Yeah.
how often have we wanted to go somewhere and feel like you shouldn't take anything? And then there's people like us who feel like, and probably you guys too, like, how dare I go somewhere and not, if it's just the cups, or at least offer. And if I truly can't, y'all, if you truly cannot afford it, and if you're not like Miss Deja who just said, I'm sorry, for having an attitude today. Because, it's an ego thing just to not say, listen, I really want to come, but I just don't have the means to bring anything right now. Do y'all know how purifying that might be, not just for you, but for the person who wants you to come to really hear that? Because most times we're trying to save face. We're trying to save our ego, right? For not having it. How many times have you? I've been there, done it, been invited and just didn't have it to take it. Now, made a way, maybe not have taken what I wanted to take, but certainly I wasn't in the position to say what I just said either. Like internally, like I want to come, but if I make this choice, it's going to hurt me over here. So
Mm-hmm.
you fake the funk, you play the game, but if you plan the game with yourself, how do you win? How do you lose? Right? How do you win? How do you lose if you're playing yourself? How do you really measure the turnout? So if you're doing it to you, you're doing it to me. And then what do you bring to the table? Day to day, what do you bring to the table? Do you add value, not just to others, but to yourself? Because if you ain't adding it to yourself, you can't give it to me. Successfully, wholeheartedly, you can't give it to me. Do you bring peace? There's a word that I love. Do you bring peace, understanding? And it says, or, I'm going to say, and or knowledge. Because we should be at a point, all these things. I asked someone to do something for me about a week ago, and they said no. They didn't really say no, they just didn't do it. Um, And I used to be one of these people, like, because rarely if someone asks me to do something, that I'm not going to do it. Like, even if I don't want to or I don't feel like it, I would try to make a way. But this person didn't. And it was simple. It was a very simple request that wouldn't have required much. And y'all, my feelings tried to. I think it was yesterday. It said, although your
It wasn't me,
past,
y'all. It wasn't me.
although your whatever, Brandon,
Because
although
I'm gonna
your
do it.
past will try to take you back there. What day? I don't remember what it was. My feelings tried to take me back there. Don't do this. They didn't do this. Da 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 da. And I was like, you know what? Mm-mm. Mm-mm. They're not gonna block my blessings, right? I'm gonna be me. I'm gonna be Tammy. My response will not be a reaction, and my response will not be um, out of character for me. I'm not gonna play. You hit the ball, I hit the ball, but that's what I used to do. So that's why I'm like, notice your growth. Notice it. Pat yourself on the back. It's all right. Get out of your head. Don't go back to being the person that you used to be. Don't let that person in. Be crazy. Talk to her. Talk to him. Because I talked to whoever Tammy was back there in the day. Why would I not? Why would I not? Because I know her better than anybody. But I also know where the new Tammy, the transformed Tammy, is going. And I want to continue to be the person who brings peace, who adds value to the lives of people, even if they don't add it to mine when and how I want them to. Because people have their own reasons um, for how they are. But I'm not going to join them in how they are. I'm going to keep becoming who I am so that I can bring that peace, understanding, and knowledge. Um, It says, perhaps you think you can continue to take while providing nothing in return. After all, doesn't everybody do it? It doesn't hurt. You're wrong. It does, right? And yes, my asking and the person not doing, it did. It stung. It stung. But guess what? I was able to pick that thing out, put a little band-aid on it as I healed, but I did not react. Life went on as it should, as it should. Because how many times has Tammy um, maybe in that old phase made somebody feel the same way? And sometimes doing it out of spite and misunderstanding. Like I went back and had to apologize to the person who got the end, and that was just a few weeks ago, who got somebody else's mess, right? So y'all, what do you bring to the table? How do you bring it? How do you bring it? We had a passage that said it's not what you're carrying, it's how you carry it. It's not what you're going through, it's how you grow through it. Life is life, right? So make sure that you're bringing um, what's required, what's expected of you from yourself, not others, to the table. All right. If you can't bring wine, say, hey, I'll bring a few cups. I'll bring a few glasses out of my cabinet. I got that. Right. So over to you, Brandon.
Thank you, Mom. I appreciate it. You said a couple of things that that sparked some revelation in me, in a sense, or like just revealed something to me about this story, but also kind of about just the human condition in general. And I'll start with the human condition. When you said that you asked someone to do something and they didn't. I don't know whether or not they said that they would, or led you to believe they would, or not. But the feeling inside of, well, now I want to go tit for tat. Like what they didn't do this for me, so I'm going to withhold something that I have from them.
Yeah. Right.
When next, I'm gonna remember this next time they ask me for something, next time they need me, I'm gonna show them. I'm gonna make sure that they know this. And here's the
Hey,
thing,
hey,
y'all.
Brandon, and it's
Mm,
almost as if I don't want to forget this,
no,
as
go
if
ahead.
they expected me to do that. You could see after a while, you could see like they were expecting, because I didn't change my moves, right? My attitude didn't change, my nothing. And so you could kind of see the like, what's wrong? What's going on?
Hmm.
Just
Hmm.
because
Hmm.
sometimes people expect you to, right? They
Right.
expect you to play that, what you call it, tit for tat game. So
Yeah. Right.
say,
And I just think, we're trying to. What's the relationship for, right? Like, are you trying to win something? Are you trying to work with someone or work against someone? Are you trying to work with yourself
mm-hmm,
or against yourself, right? Because if in la catch is true, then and if you don't want for your brothers, you want for yourself, then that's not a sign of faith. So I think it's hard to lose when you're not keeping score.
say that again.
It's hard to lose when you're not keeping score. It's hard to feel like you've lost something if you're not sitting there tit for tat. Oh, you did this? Okay, well, I'm gonna do that. All you're doing is trading emotional poison, and you're sharing the trauma and partaking in the mistrust, partaking in the miscommunication, partaking in the mess and in the drama, as Don Miguel Ruiz says in his book, The Four Agreements. You're taking part in the dream, in the dream of the party, right? Where everyone is drunk on their own emotion and their own impulses. And so if you're there and you're not intoxicated by the current state of things, you're gonna seem weird. You're gonna seem like, well, why aren't you partaking?
Mm-hmm.
It's imagine someone insults you and you give them a compliment. They're like, wait a minute, that's not how this works, right? You're supposed to trade this emotional poison with me. You know, um, you're supposed to dig lower. When I hit you with a low blow, you're supposed to try to hit me even lower,
Right.
right? It's a all races ain't good, y'all. All competitions ain't good, right? Don't chase the devil in other people, because when you chase devils, they're gonna lead you and they're gonna run back to hell. Just remember that. Don't
Take
chase.
it.
I say that when I'm driving a car, y'all, because people will do little things on you that seem to antagonize you, and I always stop myself. Hey, man, don't have no road rage. Don't chase devils because they lead right to hell. And I think sometimes our own ego is tempted by devils, right? The devils we can see or we can't see, and the ones that we can't see, the ones that we can see that are just humans walking around that can be in a devilish state, or or the evil within ourselves, right? Sometimes we chase those things. They give us some kind of rise, right? But it's hard to lose when you're not keeping score. So don't keep score with things like that. I'm not saying to be gullible and to forget when someone's harming you, right?
Right.
But be discerned, be wise with your allocation of your wrath, right? I mean, and I see God this way, right? Like, God's mercy encompasses everything and everyone. Every time you blink, every time you breathe, every time you can see the sunshine, every time you wake up in the morning, God's mercy has enveloped you. But God's wrath, right? His mercy is on all of creation, but his wrath is due to who he specifically chooses, right? His wrath is for specific people. It's not, the wrath isn't just due to everyone, right? And God's mercy is greater than his wrath. So I think we should be very similar. We should strive to be more godly in the way that we are merciful as people, right? Because who knows? You may not know. You may not have remembrance, but that person who just told you no, for example, mom, could be thinking in their head that they're getting you back for something you did. You see what I'm
Right.
saying? They
Right.
could be like, oh, well, this one time she
Yeah.
said something, or maybe you were hungry that day, you know, I just didn't want to bother with nobody, and they said something to you, and you might have, nah, whatever, you know, been off-putting to them, not thinking yourself. And I'm not speaking to your, you know, about you specifically. I'm just saying in general,
No,
we
I get
don't
it.
know, we don't know where it's always coming from, right? So I think
Right.
you did the best thing was like, I don't know all the ingredients that went into this person's attitude today, so I'm not gonna eat it. I'm not gonna like digest that and take that into myself and then try to regurgitate the same, because I don't know if they're upset about what happened at home. I don't know if they woke up or didn't get sleep last night. I don't know if they have a physical ailment and they're just too embarrassed to say it and they can't do the task that I requested,
Yeah.
right? So there's a host of different things that could impede someone from doing that mentally, emotionally, physically, you know, methodically or whatever, or they just might not have the ability to do it. But it's so easy for us to take it personal,
Right.
right? And so my focus in this story, to get back to the story, I said I was going to start with one thing that was, you know, just a part of the human condition, and that was that one. And then the second part was specifically about this story. I think the focus of this story for me is the king. I think that's the most interesting person here, because the king was in a high position. He was in a position of authority, in a position of administration. And we're not sure out of what he did this, but it seems out of his you know, somewhat benevolence, or something celebratory. He invited all the men in the village to eat, with food being provided for them.
Mm-hmm.
And how many times have we done this, right? We invite you over for dinner, or we're doing a service for you,
That's right.
right? We're giving away something for free, you know, and you cut a corner, or you try to cheat us out, or we all said that we were going to bring something to add to the pot, and you came only to take,
Yeah.
or you gave a short end of the stick. You didn't give something of quality, right? So I mean, that to me, that's like, um, we're going to give jackets to the homeless, and you bring your oldest, most ugly, most torn up jacket. You know what I mean? Like, we're going to do a beautiful thing. We're going to do something that benefits not just us, but our greater community and someone in a worse position than us. And we're going to give them the worst of our stuff. Beautify your good deeds, right? Like, when you take that to God, yeah, God, I gave away a jacket. It's like, you gave away a jacket in the winter with holes in it, and you expected it to keep someone warm. You gave away your rags and expected riches and like blessings, like rich blessings to come in return. You see what I'm saying? I know God multiplies what you give, but you got to multiply with something bigger than one. You see what I'm saying? You got to multiply with something bigger than one. So if you're giving a jacket with holes in it, that's not really a jacket. That didn't really add up to one. And we know that if you multiply something less with something less than one, you're going to get less than that number. Do we understand where I'm coming from here?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Right? So you have to actually add something to the pot yourself in order to get the best outcome, and it's better for you and your character and your own human dignity. So in this story, I liken ourselves not to the, I mean, we can look at the human condition of the people that want to skate by as best as they can, or partake in something where they're benefiting greatly and they're benefiting the most, and they don't want to give just the smallest amount. You're getting food, you're getting a feast, right? Even in partaking of the wine, which I don't suggest for everybody, but even in partaking for the wine, you're only bringing a small fraction to add to that pot, and you're getting so much in return. And have you ever felt like that? Like, I'm giving the biggest opportunity out here, right? Like, I'm giving y'all, what did Jay-Z say? I'm trying to give y'all $1 million worth of game for $9.99. and you still trying to bootleg my album. You know what I mean? So that's we have this thing about it's like, oh, you're giving me a deal, I want a bigger deal. Oh, you're giving me a break, I want to break your back so I can break the bank. Right? There's this colonizing, this exploitive, this uh like tendency that we've been socialized to accept. This individualism, this me over everyone, right? My what I want is greater than what everyone else needs. And it
Mm-hmm.
matters more to me what I want, not what I need, but what I want and what I desire with my flesh, with my ego, with my pride matters more to me than the needs of the people around me. And I think that's the type of spirit that some of these villagers took into the place. But look at this: they did not have the status and the placement of the king, right? And they didn't want to seem out of pride. They did out of ego. They didn't want to seem like just average men in the village. They
Mm-hmm.
wanted to seem like, yes, I brought my wine and I'm here, and I dressed in my all white. The all white parties we have here in Memphis. I did this and did this. Look how I look. And if I just sneak by with some water, no one will notice. And you get to the party and everybody's speaking. It's just like the parties that everybody goes to. Yeah, you're
Mm-hmm.
dressing your freshest stuff. It might be bootleg. It might be, you know what I mean? Like, but at the end of the day, what does it matter? When you all go home you all go home to the same types of places. You all sleep in the same bed. We're all nudging each other, trying to race to wherever we're going. But a race to the bottom isn't a good race to be in, right? If you're racing to hell, then you're racing to your destruction. It doesn't matter if you win or not, you're still going to hell. You feel me? Like that's what I'm saying. Don't chase the devils that you see or the devils that you don't or the evil within yourself. That's what you should be fighting, right? So when the better thing for you to do is to think, man, I'm going there and I'm going to enjoy a huge feast. What if someone doesn't isn't able to bring their wine? Let me see if I can get 2 jugs of wine just in case someone else doesn't have theirs. That's a noble thing to do. Maybe there's someone that's hungry and thirsty, and they don't have a jug to bring. So let me bring one more, right? What can you add to the table? Not just for yourself, but the best person among you is the one who brings extra,
Mm-hmm.
right? So what does it say? Uh, there was a place I saw a quote in here somewhere. Um, It's certain when you take out more than we give, when we sneak by without giving our best, it hurts us all. But there was something else. Oh, yeah. Giving more than is expected is always expected. That was it.
And our
Right?
affirmation.
Right. Our affirmation. So give more. Right? Make sure. Add a little bit more dirt to the seed to make sure that it's buried properly.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Right? When it's expected for you just need a C to pass, right? That's all you need is a C. But why not go for summa cum laude? Why not go ahead and get an A? If you're not doing
A
your best,
plus.
A
A
plus. If you're not doing your
plus.
best, why do it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? Especially when you realize that life in itself is a test. I swear to you, by the one who my life is in his hands, that there is a record being kept of everything that you do, writing down all your good deeds and all of your bad deeds, right? So remember that it's always a test. Why not? Are you just trying to pass? Or are you trying to pass with honors? So what do you bring to the table? I'll ask you this: what do you bring to the tablet? What do you bring to your book of life? Right? Beautify those things. Don't be even if that man would have gotten away with it, right? Even if he would have gotten away with bringing his jug of water, right? What good would it have done him? And now that no one brought the wine, now the king is like, I ain't gonna give no feast to all of these niggers. They say that's how we feel about it. Like, look, I mean, we the first ones to call somebody that too. Like, man, these boy, I tried to do something good for y'all, and you're gonna do this? That'll turn a good king into a tyrant. And many of us become disgruntled, right? Because of things like that that happen to us, and we project that onto the rest of the kingdom or the rest of the people that we know. So who are you in this situation? Are you the benevolent king, right? Who has the potential to now become stained and staunched with that feeling of betrayal by his own people? Or are you the people that are bringing water instead of wine, pontificating as if it's wine, and making up your own status as if you're this, this high and mighty person that's adding to the pot, right? Or are you the person that actually brought their wine? Pick and choose, and always know that God is always watching everything that you do, and you are too. At the end, and in your innermost self, you build confidence by knowing that you did the right thing, that you completed the task that you were assigned with, that you lived up to your word, that you were impeccable with your word, right? You gain confidence, you gain the quality of success as you do and build that. So that's all I have, Mom.
So really quick, you brought up the all white party. You guys imagine this, because people go and spend a lot of money to go to these all white parties on their clothing, right? Imagine going to the all white party, everybody's all decked out, but all of them decided, I'm going to get this, but I'm going to take this outfit back. And everybody gets to the party and their tags, all of their tags are hanging out, right? Everybody's tag that they bought, they didn't take it off because they're going to take it back tomorrow, right? That's what this is. Because it says, his wife said or suggested, you could buy a jug of wine. It's not too expensive. He says, how foolish to spend money when there's a way to go for free. And this is
Mm,
after, like Brennan says, the African chief is providing all the food. Just bring a bottle of wine, right? So we're trying to get over. And it
right.
reminded me of a time when I was doing food ministry at a church. And people would sign up to say they're going to bring this and that and that and this. And they would sneak in with nothing, nothing. So here we are, all these people who've said, I'm going to bring this and that and that and this. And these would be the same people that would complain about not having enough food. And finally, I just got sick and tired of it. Like, because Sunday after Sunday, you knew and you saw who the people were that were saying, I'm going to bring some church people that's coming every Sunday, holding their Bible tight. Good morning, sister. God bless you. But signing up, I'm going to bring some spaghetti. No spaghetti nowhere, right? But being the first in line to get a plate, to take a plate home, and the first one to complain about why they don't have enough food.
Mm,
So I told them why we don't have enough one Sunday. And that your word should mean something, at least here in this place. But it should mean something in every place. And lastly, I'll leave you with this. For my people who feed the homeless, or give to homeless people, stop giving them food that you won't eat. Stop giving them expired food. An elderly lady that I know got food that was dated. This was about a month ago in 2021. Where in the hell has that food been since that time? And you're going to give it to an elderly lady, anybody, right? Because y'all taking home the food that's good and still good with a good date. So y'all, you got to check yourself. Stop lying to yourself. Deal with your filthy, dirty, stinking rags. Because just like somebody made me feel some kind of way when I asked them to do something, in some kind of way, I've made somebody feel the same way. So who am I to play tit for tat? You're having a moment today. I'm going to move past this and see all the other things that you've done without me sometimes even asking. So you have your day, because we wrestle, you guys, not against flesh, right? But the spiritual warfare who's trying to disconnect relationships, right? To create chaos within relationships, right? So when it happens, be a big person, right? Remember what you bring to the table: peace, understanding, knowledge. And it takes a lot. It takes a lot to show up to the table, right? Or show up to a table where there's nothing on there for you, but you still put everything on there and make it not just for you, but for everybody. And I'll leave with that, Brandon.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Mom, for those insights and for all of just the wisdom that you share with us, and always being dedicated to this. So thank you so much to you, and to all our listeners from Facebook to YouTube, and some of the people that may be coming over from my Instagram that know about this show. Thank y'all so much for being with us this morning and all these other mornings. And as you go today, I want you to question yourself: what am I bringing to the table? And what is the table? Am I bringing the right thing to the table? Right? Am I bringing water? Am I bringing meat? Am I bringing veg? What are you bringing to the table? And what is that the best that you can do? Right? Be people of excellence. Like a lot of times we talk about, black excellence, but excellence is beyond your skin tone. It's your character. It's everything that you do. It's the clothes you wear. And I'm not just talking about name brand. I'm talking about how are you wearing the clothes, or are the clothes wearing you? It's what character, what attributes are you bringing to the table, and what is the table? Are you even at the right table? Right? So take that today as you go about your way. So again, the title today was, what do you bring to the table? And our quote comes from Ruth B. Love, who's an educator, who said, the roots of happiness grow best in the soil of service. Right? So if you want to be happy, serve other people. Truly, truly happy, right? Serve others. This is one of the most kind of cathartic things, or the things that seem to purify you, and people get the most elation from, isn't from the instant gratification of just that one moment, right? Like drugs or sex or money, but it's the lasting reverberations of what you do with your character and the service that you give others. If you know that you've changed someone's life, or you've helped someone reach the next level, or just helped someone supported someone through a hard time, that is so much more fulfilling than an extra dollar in your bank account. I promise you. You can see the rich people that say all the time, this didn't do much for me. This didn't buy me happiness, right? But it's the service to others. So after a brief passage, we came to our affirmation, our daily motivation for the day. And it says, today and every day, my motto is, giving more than is expected is always expected. So give a little more today, and give your best today. All right. And let God take care of the rest. Make sure that you bring your jug. Make sure you bring your jug and you feed your ducks. All right. And we're going to get up out of here, y'all. Thank you so much. We love you. Go like, subscribe to the YouTube channel. If you're over on Facebook, go like it, subscribe it, and turn on notifications so that you get notified every time we go live. All right, y'all. We love you, and we'll see you next time on In the Season Podcast. Peace.
Can I see you do it, Brandon? Come on. Just one. Come on. He did it, y'all. Look at him.
See, I'm getting the left right thing on here.
Yeah, we're getting it. All right, y'all go take something to the table. It's expected. Not only is it expected, it's required of you. It's required of you. To much. What's the saying, Brandon?
To whom much is given, much is
required.
Mm-hmm.
Right? You've been blessed with life today. Live it.
Man, peace, y'all.
Peace, y'all.